Hi everyone, welcome back to another little review. I know it's festive season, but we're not in the mood to do one just yet. We don't. I did not get any of that again.
There's not as many Christmas horror films as Halloween.
Well, you could do any sort of horror film for Halloween. Anyway,
I
welcome.
will never do Home Alone, never, or The Grinch.
Anyway, welcome back. I'm your host as ever, Purple Midnight 8, joined this time by Amelia, Pat Lasimar, the Obsidian Nook, my wife, whatever, doesn't matter. It's all the same. Anyway. As we said, there are not a lot of Christmas films that we can really do. I said to you that I'm not doing so many that it's just going to be fucking rom-coms. Just don't care. So we thought we're going to continue with our Netflix escapades. We're going to do Creep. A second film on the channel called Creep. Both of them. I'm upset to say this one is not very good either. It's better than the other Creep. It's not as good as what everyone has been saying it is, which is quite disappointing. I know it's creepy, creepy, but for the most part, it's just fucking weird. It's not much of a horror. It's not much of a.
I generally don't know how it made
Because they probably, as
just cuts.
As I said to you, this is mostly just one of them films where it's like. It's made on fuck all, so any money they make is probably going to be the budget, like, back immediately. It's like any money is profit. I mean, plus it was on Netflix, and Netflix probably gave them a fuck ton of money. So, that's probably where most of it came from. Excuse me. It came out with video on demand as well, so it was mainly just like a TV movie. So that's probably why it's got all its money back. But yeah, we didn't like this film very much, unfortunately. Like I say,
it's generally gonna go above the other Creep.
It's not gonna go very high.
We were bored and we were generally fucking bored.
The amount of times you were going out of the room and I was pausing it and we were only like a quarter of an hour in, I was just like, I thought this was gonna end soon. I thought we were like almost an hour in at least, but no. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than usual, most likely, because it's barely 2 pages, and also I just want to get it done. It's not as boring as Nerve, a film that was like entirely built upon the idea of adrenaline and being like, yeah, we need to do this and we'll get money, but you have to do it in a certain time, and it's all this really intense, crazy shit. And it's this one is a slow burn. It's a very fucking slow burn. Like the last 20 minutes, not even that of the film, is where shit starts to get deliberately creepy. But all of that, it's just like, this guy's fucking strange. So, excuse me. Brace yourself. Is there any thoughts you want to get off your chest before we get started?
Just that I didn't.
Yeah, to show their psych. Well, it's fake. I say.
Talking about it, and like proud of it, it's still stuck.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point because he's fucking deranged. But anyway, spoilers ahead for this. As if it matters, it's been spoiled all over the internet a million times. The cast is made up of 2 people, minus 1 uncredited person, and then it's just like one. You got a protagonist, and it's a horror film. Like, you know, the other person's going to be the antagonist. So we'll get straight into it. It's directed by Patrick Bryce and written by him and Mark Duplass. It also stars the 2 of them. I know it's for budget reasons, but you probably could have done with some more actors because they're not the best acting. It's very fucking weird. I mean, Mark Duplass, who plays Joseph, did a good job of like being fucking weird. But a lot of Patrick Bryce, who plays Aaron, it wasn't the most believable acting in the world. Like, to say the least, there were plenty of times where it was like, are you scared or what? Or it's like he had the script in his hand and he was reading it while holding the camera as well. It was just like, are you okay, dude? Like, do you want to maybe give that another take? It doesn't matter. So, Aaron, as mentioned, played by Patrick Bryce, is a filmmaker. I think he's a videographer, I think is the term they use.
Just to add that if you make a film like this, surely anyone can do it and it can hit Netflix. Just make it better.
Well, there was a time around when this film came out where the funny thing to say is Netflix just buys anything that's like someone pitches to them. But this was the days before, well, long before like video streaming became the big thing it is today. We can mainly thank the pandemic for that. We won't use the C word because I've heard that YouTube isn't a big fan of using the C word. The C word for the pandemic.
Sorry, I'm lost.
The name of the pandemic. YouTube isn't a fan of the name of it.
Why?
No idea. It just screws up like algorithms and shit, so we won't mention that. So here's a videographer who is going into the mountains to meet with a client who wants discretion. Arriving at the house, he receives no answer at the door or from when he phones them. Joseph, played by Mark Duplass, as mentioned, spoilers. Joseph in big quotation marks, because we find out later that he just keeps faking his names. Surprises Aaron in his car, revealing him to be the client, who takes him into his home. Joseph tells Aaron about his survival of cancer, but recently discovered he has a brain tumour with only a couple of months to live, so he decided to record a video for his wife and unborn son. The pair heads upstairs, where Joseph makes Aaron uncomfortable by getting naked in front of him for a bath. Aaron records Joseph miming the actions of bathing his unborn son. It's very fucking bizarre. It's like someone's home movies that you don't want to watch. It's like, I don't care. Like, can we maybe like fast forward you being naked in the bathtub?
That's not appropriate. Like, even to show your unborn son.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Even though it's all fake, it's like the weirdest fucking thing. Joseph tells Aaron about his thoughts of just ending it before sinking below the surface, but he suddenly shoots up, scaring him as a joke. The two prepare to go outside, stopping when Aaron finds Joseph's horrifying wolf mask called Peach Fuzz, before he performs a song and dance. The two hit the road, eventually entering the woods, where Joseph suddenly runs off towards the noise he heard. Aaron follows him, only for him to scare him once more, mocking his fear in the night.
What made me laugh about that is that Aaron just kept calling him. I would have just carried on fucking walking. I would have been like, alright, see you later.
See you later, buddy. You are full of that, excuse me. Happens every time we fucking record these. Yeah. That fireplace.
Oh, my.
Anyway, pressing onwards, Joseph finds what he believes is a water pool that is able to miraculously heal people. The two take turns bathing in it, before heading to a pancake house that Joseph knows of. There is a brief moment here where it's like he sort of slips his facade a bit. Because he opens the menu and goes, oh, I wonder what's good here. And then Aaron goes to him, didn't you say you've been here a few times with your family? And he's like, yeah, I know the pancakes are good, but what about everything else? Joseph films Aaron telling him about when he was a child. His mother purchased a device that would wake him up if he wet himself. One time with his friends he went, embarrassing himself, and felt ashamed. Joseph asks for a turn, showing Aaron a photo of him in his car and approaching his house. Joseph is ashamed of taking them and asks if the two of them can move past it, which Aaron reluctantly accepts. He then uses one of the photos later on in the locket. I don't know if you noticed that.
This film just proves to not trust anybody.
Yeah, I suppose that's kind of the point. Stranger danger and all that. Returning home that night, Aaron decides it's time to call it a day, but Joseph promises him he'll let him go after one drink. Joseph celebrates the day as Aaron explains that he's struggling to find work and turning down Joseph's offer of money. However, Joseph tricks him, distracting him by saying that he's got a check in his boot, which he uses to switch their glasses around. You can hear him drag it. Also, it's clear that they've swapped. When Aaron goes to leave, Joseph says he lies about the mask, explaining that he wore it when faking a B&E and having sex with his wife. It's also debatable about whether or not consent was given, because apparently she enjoyed it. Before leaving, Aaron notices his keys are missing from his jacket, which sends him searching around the house. Joseph invites Aaron to stay, but Aaron insists he needs to leave. Joseph persuades him to stay, I should say.
I was going to say, that scene, go back a couple of scenes, we now know that it's fake.
All of the shit he's saying is fake.
Spoiler alert, that's not his wife.
It's not his wife.
I suppose you don't really have to say it's debatable. You kind of know.
Well, it's not real, but I just meant while we were watching that scene specifically, it's like, oh, is it? Also, he didn't actually have any debatable consensual sex with anyone. Like, that entire story is made up. Like, he didn't do it to someone who wasn't his wife. He just didn't do it at all. Excuse me. Eventually, Joseph falls asleep, getting frisky with himself while dreaming about Peach Fuzz. That shit was bizarre. Aaron then takes the opportunity to go through his pockets, finding his phone, which immediately begins to ring. Aaron flees into the bathroom, where upon answering, Angela, who is played by an uncredited Katie Aselton, the real-life wife of Joseph, funnily enough. Yeah. Which is an interest... Putting that into the context of the film, where he said he did a B&E and then possibly SA'd her, this is a bit weird. Who is Joseph's supposed wife, but obviously his real-life one, in, like, Mark Duplass's real wife, I should say. It's difficult to explain. Tells him he should leave. Angela then tells him that he is in danger and that she is Joseph's sister. Aaron leaves the room, only to find Joseph missing from where he fell asleep. So he looks around for him. Going outside, Joseph suddenly appears, breaking down and claiming that death is coming and how he doesn't want to die. Bit of emotional manipulation from him there.
It was funny though, because it was like he goes off camera and you just see the scenery while he's crying in the background. Like...
Yeah, Joseph makes very awkward hugs. I think it might have. She was, if it didn't, just for precaution's sake, she was just saying how. Yeah, no, you might as well say it again.
How when they did that scene, then goes off of the camera.
He gives Aaron a hug.
Don't he? You just I just don't understand how they made a really fucked up shit film and it got on Netflix.
Netflix just bought the rights to it.
A second one.
We were saying how we're not sure if we will ever do the sequel.
What was that one that you watched that was done in the same style? That was better, that you did on your own?
I did one on my own, that was this. Well, the... Well, where was amateur?
From the Boys or something, before they did another film.
Oh, the Trailer Park Boys one. That wasn't done like a found footage film, that was a, that was like a short film that they did. Whereas this is...
The same story.
No, it was done on a really low budget, but it wasn't found footage like this. Also, forgot to mention at the top, this is our first ever found footage film. Probably won't be the last. Well, maybe. We have to find some good ones. I really...
We've done one where they've... Oh, I think that was, no, Evil Dead, or was that a different...
Evil Dead was super low budget, but also not, found footage. We haven't done a found footage film like this.
Okay.
I really want to do films like Wreck or Quarantine, Wreck is the superior one between the two, because Quarantine is just the American remake, which is literally the same film but in English. But Wreck is in Spanish and is the better one. Quarantine is the American one.
We should do Sharknado at some point.
I'm sure we'll do Sharknado. You never know. I mean, it's no skin off our backs. It's crap and it'll be funny. There's a lot of them to cover though. Anyway, that's another film of the future. Right now we're covering this mess. So Aaron offers to help him, but Joseph suddenly sprints down the stairs, where he dons the wolf mask and blocks the front door. The two of them fight off screen, and sometime later, Joseph is seen dragging a couple of bin bags up a hill before grabbing a shovel before digging a hole, and that's where the film ends. I'm kidding. I wish it was.
That was the worst scene because
it was really awkward. It was.
It's just like close, digging the hole, looking at the camera, spitting on it. I was just like, oh.
It was very fucking strange. So Aaron, of course, suddenly reveals himself just to be watching a video, explaining to the camera that Joseph suddenly vanished following their fight. He tells the camera that Joseph sent the video of him digging the hole to his address, and he goes and throws it away. The video, not the camera. That night, Aaron explains how he's been having strange dreams of the two of them having bath time together in the wolf masks. God. Never mind nightmares about a man that essentially, like, locked him in his house. He's just like, I'm having dreams where we used to sit in a pool and we were wearing a wolf mask and we were bathing in blood. Never mind. The next day, a large box is delivered to his house, where upon opening it, he finds another tape from Joseph. On this tape, Joseph apologises for the previous video, claiming that Aaron drugged him that night. In the box, he also finds a plush toy of a wolf, which Joseph uses as a metaphor for their relationship, and tells him to use a knife to cut it open. I don't know why he needed that giant fucking box to send a DVD, a knife, and a fucking wolf plushie in it. Inside, he finds a locket. Oh, also the locket. He finds the locket with a picture of them inside, which freaks him out enough to install more locks and phone the police. But, the police being the police, they are unable to do anything due to a lack of information that could help. That night, he continues to explain his dreams when a noise sends him into action, but nobody responds to him calling out to them. However, Joseph appears at the front door. Joseph disappears before Aaron can notice him, even after he searches around his house. As Aaron goes back to sleep, an unseen Joseph picks up the camera and briefly films him before cutting off some of his hair. This film isn't... I have to say it here, this film isn't scary. It just makes you uncomfortable. It's just the fucking weird... It's creepy. Creepy. Creepy paper. No. We're not... We've done what we do in the shadows already.
I think they're just two people who would just...
They were like, we've got a camera, let's just make the weirdest fucking film anyone's ever seen. The next day, Aaron finds a DVD left for him on a window next to his bed. Watching it, he sees Joseph, who is upset over Aaron throwing the grave-digging video and the locket. Throwing it out, I should say. Joseph tells Aaron that he understands why he did it and admits that he is mentally unwell, offering to meet him and explain himself. Aaron takes him up on the offer, leaving the camera recording their meeting spot. When Aaron takes a seat, soon after Joseph appears with his mask and an axe, killing Aaron with it. That was out of nowhere, you did not see that coming. Well, kind of. You kind of did. Like, for a low budget, they actually do, like... I mean, it's from afar, but they actually have the axe, like, fucking into his skull.
I weren't expecting that ending.
Yeah, we'll get to the little bit more of an ending. Joseph tells the camera sometimes later that it is strange that Aaron did nothing to stop him, claiming that Aaron trusted him and that he was his favourite victim of many more. Joseph receives a call going by a new name of Bill, once more recruiting someone to film his new life. He places Aaron's DVD on a shelf containing several others as the movie ends. Sequel bait. So, I'm kind of debating whether or not to do a best kill, worst kill. I mean, it's pretty simple. Best kill could just go to Aaron from process of elimination. and then a worst kill can go up to all of these like unseen victims. There you go. That's clutching at very thin straws, but you know, it's close enough. Someone dies. I had to think of something. If it was just Aaron and there were no like off-screen deaths like that, I would have just not done it. But that'll do nicely. So, babe, any other thoughts before we wrap up the review?
Just like, it was fucked up. Just couldn't stop. It was
Actually, like cackling to yourself.
terrible.
It wasn't great. Like, at least the ending, like the last 15-20 minutes got a bit more interesting, but other than that, it was just a snooze fest. So there's not much else really to say about it, because, well, not a lot really fucking happened. Like, nothing happened, Aaron then died, and then it was like, okay, film's over.
Now you know how I feel when I read and you take in all that information in a book, and then it's just like, oh, and then I review them, and I'm just like, all that for that?
Yeah, you've read that whole book, and you've got like 2 bullet points, and you're just like, what am I meant to do? Then you just go, it's shit, I really didn't like it. Right, anyway, everyone, thank you for listening to our ramblings for the last, I don't know how long. Still like 20 minutes. We still managed to squeeze 20 minutes out of it, I think. No, we didn't. I don't actually know how long it's been. Doesn't matter anyway, because we're going to end it. It's been 15 minutes. No, it hasn't. What? No, it has been about 20 minutes. Anyway, right. Thank you everyone for listening. I've been your host. I'll just hit the microphone, I apologise. I've been your host, as ever, Purple Midnight 8, joined once more by my darling. My darling. I don't know how to... I can't remember what Laszlo says. My good time boy. My rotten soldier. Of course, I've been joined by Amelia this time round. Who knows when Morgan will be back. I've still got to rewatch our next film, so... Thank you ever so much for listening, and we will see you for Amelia's turn in a couple of days.